a Liverpool fan anyway. Yeah. Can we have the fixtures for this weekend on the screen to talk about the fixtures coming through for this particular weekend and what really it will mean for the big teams involved, because for the first time in so many years, again, the EPL is going down to the very last weekend of games in the Premier League. So this weekend, we've got the likes of Arsenal and City going neck to neck for the ultimate in the Premier League on the very last day. Now, if we can have the fixtures, City are in action against West Ham at the Etihad, whilst Arsenal play against Brighton and Hove Albion. That's a big game and a big one there for Arsenal. So Arsenal are at home taking on Everton. Everton. That's the opponent of Arsenal. So both are home. Arsenal at the Emirates taking on Everton, while City are at home taking on West Ham. These are the fixtures. Okay, Michael, before I get to the fixtures itself, how would you rate this season's Premier League campaign from when it began in August and then where we are now with City, the defending champions, and Arsenal going neck to neck for the ultimate silverware?
Ben, it has been exceptional competitively, but I think when it comes to quality-wise, individual players, the Premier League still lacks. And these are things we need to have a serious conversation about.
Okay.
The other time on the TL, I was actually saying it that when you look at the level of quality we witnessed between 2005 up to 2012, 2013, you would realize individual players within most of the clubs in this particular era, you could see the kind of gap that is between them. Today, someone posted an Arsenal, I think a team that had William Gala, Hileb, Fabregas, Emmanuel Shea, Adebayo, and a lot of people were like, no. This set, they are literally going to beat the current Arsenal side, or most of them are going to start at the current Arsenal side. Someone might tell me it's nostalgia, but it's not so. I believe the league is lacking quality with these particular bigs. And more reasons when they go to the UEFA Champions League, the Europa Leagues, and all of these competitions, you have other teams beating them. There's a difference between being competitive and having individual quality players.
Okay.
I think Manchester City have individual quality players. Arsenal, can you talk about the level of quality? When they faced off with Bayern Munich, the difference was individual quality. How do you face off Bayern Munich with Harry Kane and you are coming with Gabriel Jesus? No, that is a huge gap. And you are also fighting for the league title. So you look at Liverpool at some point in time in the Europa League, trying to play the likes of Atalanta. Maybe individually, you as a team, Liverpool, you could say that, oh, Jurgen Klopp's team, this is Jurgen Klopp's team. But if you look at the likes of Szoboszlai, let me be very honest, Szoboszlai, in terms of assist and goals and everything, he's more or less on the same level as Koopmeiners. So if you literally watch different leagues, you understand that quality when it comes to the Premier League is quite down.
Okay.
But when it comes to the competitive level, I believe we've seen a very competitive league this season, especially from those who are fighting for the league title. Then you talk about those who are fighting for the top four, which actually opens it up, especially when there was a slot for a co-efficiency when it comes to the fifth place. And these teams have given us enough to fully understand that they are up for the task this season when it came to fighting each other and making sure that they secure their Champions League place and a Europa League place, or even win the title. And it goes down solidly between what happens between Arsenal and Manchester City. For the past 2 seasons, it has been consecutively where we have to take the title winner to the last day of the competition. And I believe France is already done, Germany is already done, Spain is already done, Netherlands is already done. A whole lot of countries is already done. We are here to look at the classic English Premier League game on Sunday, where Arsenal will play Everton and Manchester City will also play West Ham.
Absolutely. And if you look at these two fixtures, Everton taking on Arsenal at the Emirates, City hosting West Ham at the Etihad, realistically, with City leading by 2 points, does Arsenal have a chance at all to lay their hands on the wonderful golden trophy or silver trophy for the Premier League?
Ben, if I'm supposed to talk about percentage, I'll give Arsenal 20% chance.
20%?
20%. The reason why I'm even giving them 20% is because there's luck in football. Anything can go in your favor anytime.
Absolutely.
Things can overturn. But looking at the track record of Manchester City at home, how many times have they found themselves in this position and how many times have they lost the title? It is not common for Manchester City to lose the title whenever they are at this particular time where they find themselves. Number two, they have a very good home record. Very difficult for other teams to go there and win against them. And they have so much experience with this team. This is a team that have won the Premier League. Possibly, if they should win this one, is the 6th time out of 7. Consecutively, they've won it 3 times. Yeah. So they have everything at their disposal to deliver on the day against West Ham and win the game. So the 20% chance will only have to do with luck and how Arsenal could also find their way against Everton and make sure that they win at the end of the day. West Ham has a fantastic team. They've been inconsistent. They struggle a little bit. That is more reason why David Moyes has been sacked. He's going to step down at the end of the season. Someone else is going to come in, Julian Lopetegui. All of these fools and bars about West Ham has been happening this season. But it doesn't mean they can't cause a shock against Manchester City, especially when they have Mohamed Kudus at the helm of affairs, who is one of the best players when it comes to dribbling in the league. And they could literally be hitting Manchester City on those counter-attacks dangerously and could get something out of the game for West Ham. But I will always stand by it, that 20% chance for Arsenal due to whatever can happen in world football. And even Arsenal themselves will need to be careful against Everton. This is a Sean Dyche team that was deducted points. But yes, so they've been able to survive. And when he was deducted the points, the team was fighting for relegation. He has overcome those things, qualified, stayed in the league, and they are playing so much aggressively. And Arsenal would need to work beyond. I know Arsenal fans are taking it like, oh, this game there, we are going to score Everton. One, I believe that these fans are right because their team has been splendid at home. They've been exceptional at home. They blow teams away at home. And they've been consistent until Aston Villa went there and got results. So Aston Villa has actually shown them the way. And you're looking at an Everton team that will be so much aggressive. Gerard Brathwaite, James Tarkowski, Idris Ugana, Gueye, Dukori. They can worry you at the end of the day and frustrate you. So Arsenal, looking at Manchester City against West Ham, Arsenal might be hopeful to get luck on that side, have a 20% chance. But they themselves need to work so hard in getting the final results against Everton.
You made mention of Mohamed Kudus and the possible magic he could do in the game, which obviously will have to be in the favor of his teammate in the national team, Thomas Partey, who plays for Arsenal. And the West Ham team as well could try to do their former captain a favor in Rice, who plays for Arsenal as well. But from all you said so far, do I get the inclination that you believe West Ham cannot do it at Etihad against City?
Ben, let me be very honest. It's very difficult. They're extremely difficult. City will always find a way. Extremely difficult. And I don't think most of these Londoners, if you put even football, real football aside, I don't think most of their fans are happy to see Arsenal win the league, especially with the teams in London. Ben, I don't think they are really going to be happy seeing them win it.
What is it really with Pep Guardiola and the dominance he's clearly built in the Premier League? 7 or so seasons in the league. If he wins this, it would have been about the 6th time he's won the Premier League. What is it with him and his dominance in the Premier League?
Ben, I think he's had, one, the support of the team owners. Number 2, he's had a very solid sporting structure behind him. And number 3, he's been able to express the level of quality coaching that is within him. These 3 factors have managed to find a way in making sure that Manchester City becomes a dominant force during this particular era. We've seen Fergie's dominance, we've seen Arsenal's dominance, we've seen Chelsea's dominance. But in terms of longevity, I think Pep Guardiola will have to rub soldiers with Sir Alex Ferguson, where there's a period of dominance in terms of, he got to a point in time, Ferguson had won 6 league titles in 8 years. And it was mind-blowing. That is the same thing that Pep Guardiola is doing. Even when Chelsea had their dominance, they won 2 in like 3 or 4. Or they won like 3 in like 5 years. When you look at Arsenal, they are going to win like 2 in like 2 years. Or 2 in like 3 years or 4 years. So longevity, you could give it to Pep Guardiola and Sir Alex Ferguson with how they've been able to dominate the league. And all of these boils down to how their owners work with them and proper good sporting directors that they handle. Ferguson will always give thumbs up to people like David Gill because that man was so much exceptional in balancing, getting the right players and making sure that the club also has money to run the commercial side of it. But in all of these, in terms of the quality they have, everything they've been doing, Fancy, I believe Manchester City should give themselves a shout about 115 charges against them. Because it clears every single thing away from you. It clears every single thing away from you. Because if this case is not taken up, if there is no end to this case, there is always going to be a dent on what Pep Guardiola has forcibly or actually given his all to achieve at Manchester City. Pep Guardiola is an extraordinary coach. I believe finances are part of how you play football and all of those things. But I believe when you're on the pitch, Ben, tactics are much more better, or tactics are supposed to be seen than the how much you bought a player for, how much you did this, your this, all of these things. Is so. Okay. What matters most is on the pitch. What is your players doing? What kind of football are they exhibiting?
Okay.
And I think Manchester City are doing that.
Okay.
But they need to clear their name around all of these things. Or I think Guardiola is putting a big dent on whatever that he has achieved, to be very honest.
Okay. Let's